5 things I would do differently if I started in 2024. This is the Stationery Art Business Edition. Would be to change my mindset. For 3 years, I felt like I didn't have a strong mindset about my business, and I compared myself a lot to other artists on social media. I would specifically look at the numbers and think to myself, oh my god, I'm not reaching those numbers. This made me feel discouraged at times. However, I realized you can't grow as a person and you can't grow your business if you focus on other people. What helped me was trying to focus on strategy and improving other areas of my business instead of waiting for sales. Also, I think for many artists, we feel like our art is not good enough to sell, or that our specific art style is not popular. At times, I also felt like my art style is too childish due to people's comments, as my art is really round looking and cute. But you have to believe in yourself. There will always be someone who likes your work, and you have to like your work. When you like and feel confident about your own work, people will most likely feel the same way. The second thing would be planning and strategy. In the early stages, I was too emotionally invested with my business. I didn't have a clear roadmap for the year and often ordered products without a proper strategy. I didn't give myself enough time to create marketing material or introduce the item to my audience. So you need to give yourself enough time between launches to introduce your artwork. Do not order products on whim. I still have items that I thought would sell but didn't sell as fast as I wanted to. This includes notepads and notebooks which I outsourced. I made these items in bulk without thinking about my marketing strategy. At one point of time, I was also selling quite a number of notepads for my Etsy shop. And in my mind, I thought it would stay that way forever. So, I ordered them in bulk. Don't laugh at me, but this cost me a total of $4,000 as I also ordered them locally. This was such a mistake as I didn't account for the changes in Etsy's algorithm, and because of that, I still have stock of them in my office. They also take up quite a lot of space in my room. So, if anyone would like some notepads, you can hit me up. I find it is much better to have smaller curated collections. Like for my current shop update, I told my audience 2 to 3 months in advance that it will be a Mount Fuji/Matcha Lover launch. I created a selected number of products and I tried my best to create marketing material beforehand, and I told my audience what inspired the collection and how I made everything. At this stage, I can only handle planning products and launches half a year at a time, but it definitely does help you with what themes and items you are launching. For social media, I find monthly planning works the best. If it's too overwhelming, just start week by week and then slowly move on to month by month. The third point would be to take breaks and focus. In 2020 to 2023, I found that there was so much emphasis on the hustle culture. But I feel like the hustle culture doesn't suit artists. I thought I had to work 24/7, like how I saw every other person on social media doing it. I saw so many other people reaching their goals, going viral, and making a lot of sales. Over the past few years, I became consistently burnt out and tired. I mostly stopped exercising even though I exercised regularly for over 5 years, and I also used food to cope. I wanted to get to 10k on Instagram so badly that I forced myself to post every day, even if the content quality was lower than what I usually did. I thought getting to 10k would solve my problem of inconsistent sales. However, I found myself sticking to the same kind of content without adding my personality or reinventing the wheel. Besides content, I also found myself watching lots of e-commerce videos, which wasn't catered to my business at all. After some reflection, I thought, why am I even focusing so much on e-commerce when I am an artist? I found after taking breaks, I was able to focus a lot better. These breaks were mostly unplanned though, like when I had to visit my family overseas or times when work wasn't accessible at all. I also decided to stop jumping on every opportunity for a few extra $100. Instead, I would choose less events or projects with a deeper focus. So I'm doing my best to focus on what I have right now without adding new projects. Right now, I'm focusing on 2 projects, an upcoming Studio Ghibli update and a secret Kickstarter project. Okay, so we come to point 4, which is content creation. I talked about this a little bit in point 3, but let me elaborate a little bit more. In 2021, I created an Instagram reel almost every day. I was so proud of myself, but I didn't analyze my metrics at all. I created for the sake of creating. The numbers also made me very nervous, so I didn't look at my engagement metrics at all. Of course, this led to burnout, and even though I grew my following, I didn't take enough time to understand what was happening. I churned out the same kind of content which was boring and repetitive to my followers. Now, I try to make my content more purposeful and to stick to only 2 social media channels. I also understand my strengths and weaknesses and what type of content I can create. Also, to be honest, I don't really have a charismatic personality, and I feel much more comfortable with voiceover videos. So that is what I'll be focusing on. What I am good at is showing my process, and through that, I am able to engage with my community. But if content creation is scary, just start small and use it as a place to document your journey. I do not believe that you need a huge following to earn money as an artist. You can also start by going to events or markets to get sales in person. Also, try to set up a calendar for your content, so you don't get too emotional about posting. I found that this works for me. When you post what you have planned, you are able to detach from the content and analyze what works for your community. So the last point of the video, but I think it's one of the most important points, it is managing your cost and revenue. In the early years, I didn't have a good grasp of bookkeeping, and I often found it overwhelming. I had created so many different products and had a lot of outgoing costs. I found it hard to keep track of all of them as I didn't have a proper system. Now, I really make it a point to do bookkeeping twice a month and reduce my expenses as much as I can. This means for items which I can make efficiently at home, like stickers and notepads, I make them from home. For my next Studio Ghibli launch, I am only gonna outsource washi tapes and postcards. The rest of the items, I will try to make from home. As much as I can, I also try to make packaging from home. As a small business, you make a lot of products, and it's so tempting to order all your packaging. However, doing it from home saves costs, especially when you have streamlined your process. Try not to outsource things unless you can't make them from home or you can't manage to keep it in stock. I hope these tips were helpful for you and that you are able to start on your art journey. If you would like more tips and to see my art journey of the Chupadoodles family, you can even subscribe or check out my online store.